will actually be asked them to. Yeah. If you actually bring in a programmer and you're going to do a replacement for Excel, even though that's possible, you have to learn programming. So Oracle came up with a product called Oracle Apex, stands for Oracle Application Expert. So Apex is application, yes, expert. So but they don't have a development platform that allows you to actually create not just a simple application.
Brother Nasser, we're not able to hear you well.
Yes.
You have to disconnect it.
No, I'll disconnect it. Okay, now is it clear?
This is very clear.
Very clear. Great. Okay. So now Oracle Apex, Oracle is, is a database company, and then they came up with a lot of products. One such product was Apex. The idea of Apex was to actually provide non-business users, non-technical users, which is business users, empowering them to create small applications. Over the course of 15 years, Apex has actually grown up to actually create enterprise level scalable applications, okay, with world-class features and everything. We'll go through some of these things. Okay. Now, what does Apex actually provide you? It provides you a web application framework where you can actually create an application once, and it will be available for you in the desktop. It will be available for you in the desktops, in your tablets, and on your mobiles at the same time. So it will be a web application. You don't need to actually create 3 different applications. It's one application, and the system will automatically change based on the size of the device. It will change. Second, it has a high visualization and database maintenance capabilities where you can create different kinds of charts. You can create different kinds of searches. You can create forms, reports, every kind of a visualization that you can actually imagine. And being the low-code technology, if you are a programmer with SQL and database capabilities, you can reuse those skills onto this to create much more stunning applications. Now, what are the distinguishing factors of Apex over another low-code tool? First, you do not need to download any software in order to start developing applications. So which means that you don't need to download a tool, install this software, and no, you use your browser. Your browser is the environment of how you will create the application. Second, everything is declarative. What does it mean? It means that you just say what you want to do, it will automatically generate the code and it will give it to you. So you don't have to actually write code per se at all. In the demonstration of creating the application in 15 minutes, you will see this. All the pages are generated from the database. So once you back up your database, everything, including the front end, the back end, everything goes. Like for example, today when you want to actually back up your Excel, you have to go and copy that Excel into USB. But when you're creating an enterprise application, you create the screens in a different technology, you create the database in a different technology, your application in a different technology. Each one has to be backed up separately. But in Apex, no, everything is stored in one place. You just copy that, that's it. It is easy to move. So what does Apex actually offer? Apex offers pre-built controls for almost everything. You can create a prototype of an application to a production-ready application within minutes. Recently, during the COVID time, Oracle recently created the COVID-19 application for the American government, okay, within a span of like 3 days. A full-fledged application with respect to reading the data, with respect to collecting the information, doing the analysis, doing every possible thing. So you can develop the application, customize it, and you can deliver it in multiple different platforms and in ways. We'll go through that. What is the cost of Apex? Apex as such is free. Apex as a development platform is free. You don't have to pay anything for Apex. You don't have to pay for the number of developers or this thing. Most of the other low code tools or this thing is based on the number of developers, number of users. No, unlimited users, unlimited developers, unlimited apps. There is absolutely no restriction. But Apex has got a limitation in that it runs only on Oracle database. It does not run on any other database. So which means you need Oracle database to actually run Apex. But of course, Oracle database can be costly. Oracle has actually provided options in order to improve it. One such feature is Oracle Autonomous Database. It is a cloud-based service which Oracle is actually providing on the cloud with 20 GB of free space with Oracle Apex inbuilt in it for you to develop an application, and it is free for life. The only thing you need to do is create an account and pay a $1 fee one time just to actually confirm. That's it. If in case you create your application and you want to, of course, there are some limitations with the number of size and how many number of users can connect to it. But if you decide that, okay, I want to actually open this out for thousands of users, 10,000 users, I want to create professional apps and sell it. In that case, you can just upgrade your service to a paid service where you can actually go to $120 for a 1 terabyte of space, and $120 per month will be your subscription charges, like how you pay for Azure, Microsoft Azure, or you pay for Amazon Web Services, those kind of services. So, but if you don't want to pay it, 20 GB of space on the cloud for you to create an unlimited Apex applications is already available. But if you decide, no, I want more space, I want more functionality. By the way, these are the cost and everything for this one. You can also try it out, the cloud, which is the free tier. If you decide to have a local installation, you can install a local copy of your this thing. So where is this actually useful? Let's say you have a pharmacy and you want to actually have an application developed for doing the sales. Now you need to buy a software, install the thing. Nothing. You just get an Oracle Apex. There is an Express edition, which is a free version of Oracle database, which is provided. Of course, there is a small limitation in it. You can install that on your local computer, local laptop, local PC, install Apex on it, create your entire application, and you can actually have your own sales, point of sales application. Or you have a small company, okay, and you want to run a HRMS or a small finance application. Install the Oracle Apex Express edition, which is free. Install the Apex, develop your application, and put it onto the network so that everyone can access it through the browser. There's no software to be installed on anyone's computer at all. But if you decide, no, I want to have a much more professional environment or something, you can choose the on-premise option where you can actually install it on a network, on a server, and you can actually deploy it for tens of thousands of users. If in the case you want to actually to be available on the internet and your IT systems do not allow it to be exposed, you can put it also on the cloud. You can try the Oracle Apex cloud environment, or there are another 30 different cloud hosting providers for Oracle Apex, and you can use any one of them. Now, what Apex we are going to do now is a simple application. What we are going to do is we are going to take an Excel-based application, which I'm maintaining, and I'm going to convert this into an Apex application, okay, and show you what are the advantages and disadvantages for it. Now, before we go to it, the free edition of 21C Express edition of database provides you that it can use 2 CPU threads, which means that if you have an 8-core processor, it will use 2 cores of it. It can use a maximum of 2 GB. So which means even if your computer has got 32 GB, it can still use only 2 GB of RAM, and you can store 12 GB of user database. So if your application, most of the database and most of the applications will never use more than like 1 GB or 2 GB of data. So you can actually store 12 GB of data. If you have such a requirement for a small to medium sized company, you don't need to pay even a single penny. You can actually install Oracle Database 21C, which is XC edition, with these limitations on a laptop, and just put it onto a network. That's it. So now let's go to the demonstration of this particular application. Now, this is an Apex environment. I'm not going to go into the details of it. We will have another application for it. But before I go that, I want to actually show you This is an Excel application. This is an Excel data which I'm storing, where I have what segment it is, which country this data, this is, what is the product that I'm selling, is there any discount for this particular thing, how many units of products have I sold, what was my manufacturing cost, my sales cost, total gross sales, did I give any discounts to this person, what was my total sales, gross sales, the same thing. What is my cost of goods sold? What is my cost? So what is my net profit? Is the sales minus the thing. When was this actually done? And which month it is, which year it is, the month name, the month year, month. Now, this is the data which someone, usually in a manufacturing company, if they're storing it, they don't have an ERP system. So they will be just feeding in one line by line whenever there is a sales happening or something. Now, what the problem is, okay, I may be going a little bit fast. Can I take any comments or any questions so far? I'm going to go start the demo right now. Do we have any questions, anything? Can I proceed? It's okay? Okay, fine, great. So this is the Excel data that we have. And I want to, if I open it, no one else can actually open this file. If I update, like for example, in this discount, you see I'm typing low, I can even type it as lower. No one is going to, the data will not start making sense, correct? There is no validation. There is no this thing. I can put even a text also in this particular field. There's absolutely no validation. There's no drop down. It's not an easy to use interface for a person to actually work with. Correct? So now what we are actually going to do. First off, I am going to start a timer so that I show you. So we are going to use a timer and I'm going to set it to 15 minutes. Okay. So this is my timer is started. So I'll just keep this. So I'm not going to save this. I'm going into my Apex. This is my Apex Builder environment. Of course, we will have a series of how to actually use Apex. Okay, and how we can do it. Remember, at any point, if you feel I'm doing a a technical related work, please stop me. I click the create button. It gives me 3 options. Do you want to create a new application? Do you want to create from a file or a starter? Of course, I have an Excel file, correct? So I will choose from a file. I have the option over here now to drag and drop a file. Okay, what are the formats? I'm just going to choose my file. I will choose the sample file that I have. Now, what is actually happening? It has actually automatically loaded all the data into the screen. All it's asking you is, give me, like how you gave your file a name, like financial sample, you can also give a name. So I'm going to give my name as financial sample. So this is the data that is what I'm going to actually load. I will just click load data. That's it. So what has happened is all the data from the Excel sheet is loaded and it has loaded 700 rows in like, what, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Next, you see, it gives me a button, create an application. Okay, create an application. What is the application name I want to give? Automatically, it is decided by itself what all it needs to do. I'm not going to do anything. Do I want to use any extra features? Okay, let's say I don't want to use anything. Is there anything technical here? I don't, imagine I'm not doing it. I'm just going to click the create. Now, when I click the create, based on the data, it has started to do the work. Okay, now actually, if you actually see, now let me just run the application. So the button is simple, just click run. I'm just logging in with my username. Okay, my application is done. So actually, if you see, as per the timing, it's not even taken 3 minutes. Am I right? Let's just go through the application in the 15 minutes. What did the Apex do for you? First, it has actually created something called as a search. Let me go over here. it has taken all my data that is actually there, classified them based on the category of the sale, based on the month, based on the month name, based on the product, based on the manufacturing. So which means if I want to actually know which all are the sales which are greater than 300, I just have to click here and it will filter all the items which are greater than 300. Okay. Or no, I want to see the sales which was from 1 to 3, which is 1 and 2, which is the month of January and February. So I just click here and it shows me all the sales that is in the month of January and February. These are the sales which are in the month of January and February. If I want to actually see this as a chart, I just click here. It shows me this. I filter this data. I remove this filtration and I click on this. So it shows me that there were 70 sales that happened between January and February, 105 between March, April, and May. And then this is June, July, August, September, October. This is October, November, and then this is December. Okay. So it shows me the count of the thing. This visualization is not good. Let me just change it into a pie chart. So it gives me the same representation as a pie chart. I can actually filter the data. I can search. I can do multiple. I want to see all Amarilla products that was sold in the month of June. Okay, so I sold everything to the government, some to Canada, France. One was to a small business. There's a small business person. Actually, I gave him a huge discount, but his sales was 738. Oh, I want to actually maybe filter this. I want to see from largest to smallest. I can even add by discount. Who did I give more discount? Maybe I want to add in December month also to it. Where are the other months? Only the 5 months is coming. All the remaining months are here. It is sorted the data based on the highest to lowest. So it is helping me out to find out and filter the data product wise and everything. Here, these are only products that is actually there. I could show you how to actually add, if you want to actually see the channel partner or you want to add the country, I can also show you how to do it also. So now this is a search screen. Next, let's go to a report. So this is a report. Now in this report, I see all the items that were there in my Excel sheet as it is. But now I want to edit it. Okay, this manufacturing 260, I will click here, edit. And it will actually open the form. And it has gathered all the data, which all is a number. It is creating it as a number field, which all is a date. It is automatically giving me a date box, which is a month. It's just putting a text because it wasn't able to identify that whether this should be a drop down or not. So it has actually created a nice form, which I can be opening the same screen and a brother A could be opening this file and this record and updating it, while I will be opening this and updating it at the exact same moment. There's absolutely no restriction from either one of them. So which means this is a browser-based application which anyone can log in, go update the information, save the information and go back. So I want to add a new record. So I can actually click add. I can type in the details that I want. You see, this one is a number field. So automatically it went to the right-hand side. Now we will enhance this. I will show you how to enhance this. Apart from this, what this has actually done, it has also created me a calendar to show me what are the sales that happened by calendar. Of course, this calendar based on the current date. Now, if I have to, because the data is all from 2014, I'll have to go scroll too much. I'll have to change the thing. But ultimately, what will happen is you can actually see, visualize your data in the dates when it happened. Also, based on the data, the system automatically identified and created some small dashboards for me based on the channel, which is the partner, based on the country, who is getting me the maximum number of sales. If you see based on the discount bands, how many are high discounts, how many are none, how many are low, and also by products. So if you see Peso is 202 products which have been sold. This is 109. So it has automatically analyzed the data and created me charts and graphs for it. I think so. I've still not crossed the 15 minutes. I'm just demonstrating the application. Now let me just go into the financial report just to show you how easy it is to actually go. Let's say, for example, okay, I am going to edit this page. Okay. Now I want, now if you see this is a page, of course, there are details in it, but as a non-programmer, if you actually go, you will see that there is something called as month name, which is a text box. Okay, which means it is something that you will actually type. You want it to be a select box. There is something called as a select list. Just choose it as a select list. Once you choose it as a select list, it will automatically tell you that you need to actually give a list of value. When you click on this particular button, it is coming over here and saying, okay, where is this list coming from? Of course, this advanced, but I will just go to the basic one, which is static values. What does static value do? Okay, I want to enter. I want January. Okay, I will put February. So what is the name you want to, or maybe you want to display January, you want to return, you want to save as Feb. You know, it depends on what you actually want. You know, March, I can just keep on adding the months, April, May. Let me just finish this out so that I will show you May, June, July, August, September, October, just two more, and December. So I've just added these options over here. Okay, and I'm clicking OK. I'll just click save. Okay, I'll just go back to my application. Where is it? I'm going to now run the application. So if you see again, I'm going to my financial report. Now, when I open over here, you see here, instead of typing, now it is a drop-down list. So which means, will anyone make a mistake of actually typing October as October or something like that? No. Same case, even in this month also, if you actually change the date, if you give an invalid date, it will not accept. It will not accept. Even here, now this numbers can be month. Now this is month number is a field. I want to restrict it. I know the month number has to be a field. I could give it as a drop-down list, but let me say this is a number field. I want the minimum value is 1 and the maximum value is 2, 12. So now if I actually run this particular page, if I run this particular page and come back to this particular thing, if I try to actually change this month number to 23, for example, you see it will give me an error. The month number must be between 1 and 12. So I haven't written a single line of code. I'm just choosing. This is what is called declarative programming, which means what you actually do is you just choose what you want to do based on the settings, and it will do the work for you. So if you actually go here, you will actually see that each one has got some option. What is the minimum value? Do you want the number alignment to be left or right? Okay, what do you want? Do you want to put a format mask for the telephone number for this? I think so. I am still having 3 minutes remaining for my demo. Okay, you can add validation. Is this required or not? No, without entering this value, you should not save any data. I can actually put what is the maximum number of characters to be allowed. There are so many things that you can actually do without writing a single line of code. Of course, if you do write a little bit of code, you can create multiple applications. So just to show you that, I mean, I've given the whole demo of the entire application within the 15 minutes. Okay. Now what I want to actually show you is, now where is Apex being used in the world? If you see, there are a lot of people who have actually created applications. For example, Formula One is maintaining their data using for the races, the seasons, the teams, the drivers and tracks using Apex. There's a smart MDAD. This is actually an application which is actually created for I think so. This Dubai government, something they have done, or Oman government, something like that. This is, and this, if you see, is an Apex application. Okay, this is actually an Apex application created with login and everything. By the way, the Kuwait government's Shlonek is the front end, but the back office application of Shlonek is actually an Apex application. So you have a SPAD system, JPS fund, a monthly expense tracker, an ERP system, e-commerce website. There are so many things. For example, I just want to actually show you one more thing. If you see shop.oracle.com, this is their e-commerce website for Oracle. And this, if you actually see, is a completely Apex-based application that is actually developed. You see the word Apex? It's a complete Apex application where you can browse your products, you can buy products, you can put it shopping cart, PayPal, whatever you want to do. So Apex is not restricted only to enterprise application within your environment. It is also available as a public website that you can do. Now there's another website which is called as asktom.com. This is actually a famous website which is used by a lot of developers, database administrators within Oracle to actually post questions and get feedback. It's like a forum kind of thing. It has over 1 million users per day, actually, that is there. So it's asktom.oracle.com. Okay. So what this actually does, this is also, if you see, it's an Apex application where you have different groups, forums and everything. Millions of people are actually accessing it. So Apex is no way a small application where if you put 1,000 people on it, it will die. Application is not scalable. No way. You can actually scale it. You can have millions of people connected to it. You can do all kinds of applications and you can develop it. Recently, I just want to end this with showing one video. Hospital. I think so. It was in yeah. If you see, how do I switch audio here? Okay.
You should be able to share screen with sound in Zoom.
Let me do one thing.
Maybe you can disconnect the screen share and start screen share again. You will find that option at the bottom.
Make this vision.
As our world
Okay, I shared it. Now can
evolves at an unprecedented rate, healthcare continues to be a key challenge to most countries around the globe.
Kingdom of Bahrain has been ambitious global healthcare coverage program where business intelligence
Can you hear it?
is key to strategic decision making. HOPE is a
Yes,
system developed by King Hamad University Hospital.
Now this is a
It is the
healthcare
operational information
this
system
thing,
like HOPE
which is
that
using
makes
Oracle
vision
Apex. I'll just
come to
pause
life
you in some of the
and
screens to
ensures
show you
wider
that
alignment
a
to our
professional, you see,
strategic
this is an Apex screen. This is not a normal screen. This is an Apex screen developed to maintain the patients and what is their lab results
roadmap.
and who is the next person to be actually done. Completely customizable over
we
here.
find that it has to be done by the Bahraini hands. This system has shown
They have
over the
developed a
years
complete Apex.
that
So it's
is
not, don't
robust,
think Apex as a
very
small
friendly,
application. They have
and
integrated
safe.
with their imaging system, with their booking system, with their patient history. You see the layout, you see how rich it is. This is what Apex capabilities is.
Excellent.
Oracle Apex enables us as application developers and business users to build a scalable, secure enterprise app.
You see, they have integrated with their imaging tool to actually get the X-rays and MRIs also within the Apex.
With minimal coding rapidly.
We can develop very user-friendly web applications in a much faster way than any other tool.
This again As I told you, this is the Apex part,
Hope
where
has a
it,
clear
and
and
it
profound
gives you
positive
printing
impact on the way
capabilities
the
of
hospital
PDF,
operates.
Excel, Word.
It streamlines
All the features are there for
hundreds of
reporting
business
capabilities.
processes and workflows
Of course,
across
this is
the
not Apex.
organization in a way
Okay.
that's efficient and transparent that impacts the care that we deliver to our patients. Hope is simple, fast, and
So the same application is being accessed by the doctors on the phone for checking their appointments. They are updating the history of the patients, checking the
intuitive.
details. Everything is
Users
actually available in
typically
Apex
get
as a
used to
single
Hope
screen.
in mere
They have
hours,
even
becoming
done
very
e-signature.
comfortable
I mean,
using
not
it in a
signature.
matter
It's
of
like a not a e-signature per se, but it's a tablet-based signature. So you don't need to actually have any paper-based form for any access for anything. Everything is done within the
Hope played a
system
key
itself.
role in our adaptation to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Of course,
reallocating
Apex is
our
secure,
services to
where
help
each one
address
will be given
COVID-19
access.
unique challenges.
Hope executive dashboards provide on-demand access to real-time hospital KPIs and metrics.
We are constantly surprised by the quality and agility of the development of Hope demonstrates, rightly aligned to our vision and our strategic objectives to help our citizens and residents alike.
As
Great.
our world evolves at an unprecedented rate, healthcare.
Yes, I am done for the presentation. This is just an introduction class. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Yes.
All right, there's a brother who has asked a question over chat. He's asking for non-text data like image files. What are the options for storage? Will all files be stored in the Oracle database?
Excellent option, brother. You have two options. Okay, you can either store the data. Apex will give you an inbuilt non-programming option to store the information directly into the tables. You just create an Oracle table with the blob data, okay, a blob column, and Apex will understand it and automatically create a button where you can upload files, you can attach it, and you can save it. So you have the option to save the images, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, any kind of non-text data into a blob column by default. But if, like, for example, you're using a free version of Apex, which is the 21C, you're limited with 12 GB of storage. Now, it doesn't make sense for you to utilize your 12 GB of space to store data, non-text data, where it can go very high. In this case, Apex gives you an option where you can save it into a file system, which means you upload the data, Apex will go and store it into a particular directory, and you can actually read and write to that particular directory through Apex. Excellent. What about authentication? Now, by default, Apex actually does different kinds of authentication that is actually available within the framework. So, for example, you don't have to write any coding. You just have to choose the authentication schemes that is there. So if you actually see what are the default authentication schemes that Apex provide out of the box. So you don't write a single line of code to do it. One is Oracle Apex, which means you can create the users and permissions and roles and everything within Apex itself. Or you may decide to use a custom authentication where you write your own coding based on your own tables, based on anything that you like. You can actually have it based on Oracle database accounts. So you can create a database user and you can actually call it from here. No coding required. If you're using a single sign-on technology, okay, you can actually just call the header of that particular single sign-on and it will automatically do the authentication. You can even choose LDAP. You just specify the Active Directory host name, port number, and the CN. That's it. And what we'll do is whenever it will create a username and password box, you enter username password, it will automatically make a connection to Active Directory, pass the username password, verify it, and if it is done, it will automatically move forward. You can also choose no authentication, which is on a public website. You can choose open door, is like it's on the public website, but I want to know what is the person's user or his email address. And you have the option for us sign in, which means you can actually use either Google, Facebook, Twitter, or you can use Microsoft Azure. You can use any other OpenID or generic OAuth 2 based providers to do username password authentication for you.
Yeah, Brother Syed Basha, you can post your question, brother.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for this valuable presentation, Brother Nasser. I just want to, clarify. Actually, I have no questions. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said that this Apex can be only usable when you have an Oracle database. Correct? Well, what if Okay, so if somebody having small Excel sheets, and then he wanted to run the Oracle Apex, then he won't be doing it, right? He can't be able to do.
What we will do is you will migrate your Excel sheets into Oracle Apex, and you will publish the URL of the Apex application into your network. Previously, what you were doing, you were keeping the Excel sheet in a shared network drive and giving the access to all the people for the network drive. And then they are opening the files, updating the thing. Okay, Nasser opened it. Okay, Syed Basha now is trying to open it. He cannot open it. I want to just add one record. Why should Excel stop me? You are viewing the details and I'm adding a record. What is this related to each other? Nothing, but Excel stops you. So what we are actually doing over here is we are by migrating the data from Excel into Apex, we are creating a browser-based environment where each one can actually work on their own action simultaneously. Was I clear? Hello?
Yep, I think it was clear. There's one more question from chat box. Brother Riaz is asking, how about integration with other systems?
Very good. Now, Apex by default, as I told you, it is integrated with, the Oracle database. So anything with Oracle database, it will actually be able to read. However, in order to actually be more open, Oracle Apex provides a complete web services framework for you to call any web service. Yes, by the way, Maps is also actually there. You can integrate with Google Maps also. And you can also store geospatial data in your Oracle database. And you can read the data from geospatial database and display it into your map. And coming back to the thing, you can integrate with any third-party web service, or let's say if you have data in SQL Server database and you want to create an Apex application based on that, if you create web services for SQL Server, you can actually have an Apex report, form, charts, search screens, everything developed on Apex, which is calling the respective web services. For example, let me just show you an example of how the integration is actually working. Okay. If you see, this is a website, which is an Apex website, but it is integrated with Slack through web services, through Newsfeed through web services, and through Twitter through web services, and displaying, reading the tweets, reading these news, reading the Slack information based on the category of what you want, and displaying the data all in Apex. What's the next question? How do you actually control the URL formatting? By default, Apex actually uses what is called as a number-based formatting. But Apex has come up with a friendly URL concept. Like, for example, if you see built with Apex website, if you actually see here, Imdad, you see Smart Imdad is an Apex application. But do you see the word Apex anywhere here? No. They have, you can actually rename parts of the URL. Okay, but this is actually an Apex application. I can show it to you. If you go to view source, I can show you that all these are in Apex. You see here, 42, Apex min. It's all the Apex application related CSS and cascading style sheets. All these are Apex. So you can actually change parts of the page, parts of the URL, okay, in order to be search friendly and also SOE capable. Integrative maps is already answered. Yes. Access to files can also be provided based on security. You can actually provide security. Remember, Apex is just not an open book. You can actually say which person there is fine-grained access control design where you can actually go and write code and say that this person has access to, this person has got access to this particular page. Within this page, he can actually go to this report. Within this report, he can go to this record. Within this record, he can actually see these fields. Within these fields, he has the update access, read access, delete access. To that fine-grained level, there is authorization built within the system, and you can create custom authorizations also. Are there any sample mobile apps? Yes, actually, how efficient and convenient is to develop a project mobile app? Let me just show you a small application, okay, which we just developed right now. Now, this is our application, correct? Now, is this a desktop application? Any doubts in that? No. But now, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to resize it. This guy is causing a problem. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. Yes, let me close this. Okay. Now this is the Apex application, right? Let's visualize this Apex application as a mobile. Now this is a mobile layout, correct? I have the menu. Okay, let me go to my search screen. It's the same thing. You see now, automatically resized based on the data. It has resized to what you have actually done. I can even go to my form. Let me go to my sample form. I'm going to edit. This is my mobile layout. I haven't written a single line of mobile coding here. I can even now, Apex in the new version in 21.2, which is going to get released maybe tomorrow, I think so. You can create Apex as a progressive web app, which means that you can actually create Apex as an app, and you can actually have an option to install it on your mobile as an icon with push notification, with offline storage capability and sync capability. I'm clear? Yes. You started by uploading Excel. How can we keep the data updated to the app after the first upload, or is it that I should quit using? Yes, brother, what you are actually doing is you are actually migrating from a PC-based environment to a cloud-based environment. Okay. So which means once the data is actually uploaded, let's say you want an offline copy of the Excel. No, I don't want to keep it in the cloud. Okay, I updated in the cloud. I want to keep a local copy of it in my PC. Of course, everyone will want to do that. It's very simple, brother. Let me remove the mountain. You see, this is the report. You just come to Actions, go to download, and download it back into an Excel. Keep it in your PC. Clear? So you can bring it back. But remember, once you're actually going to another platform, you can actually do it. Pre-built widgets. Oh, there are tons of widgets, brother. I mean, I don't have to actually show you. This will go into a full-fledged course, okay, which inshallah we will start a series. But just for your information, you see, when you're creating a page, you can create a report, a form, master detail page, plugins. You can create different kinds of charts, dashboard, maps, calendar, trees, data loading, wizards. You can create legacy pages. So you have different, you can add features like you want an access control, you want a configuration, theme selection. For example, if you want, okay, I don't like the, I don't like this theme. Okay, I like a darker theme. Okay, I'll give it as a dark theme. Oh no, I want to actually be based on my daylight, like based on I'm working in the night or on the day. I will want to change it automatically. You know, I can give this kind of functionality even to the business user. Like user onboarding. Brother, you can develop user onboarding processes. You can actually send OTP. You can create all these things. Can we have different themes or layouts for different sizes? You can actually do programmatically. Yes, you can actually change. You can actually change the different themes that you want. By default, if you actually see here, you see these are the themes that is actually available. There's something called as a theme roller where you can change the colors and combinations of how you want. Now, this is the Vita theme. Now, there is another one, which is the red color theme. Then there is another option, which is a slate, which is a gray color theme. Then there is another one which is called as Redwood Light, which is a different, gives a different feel. Okay, there is a Redwood Dark. Okay, this is the current one. And then there is a dark theme. So these are themes. No, I don't like these things. I want to change this blue color to thing. No problem, brother. You can go over here, change this to blue color. You want to change it to green, change it to green. And you can create this as, you can save it as your own theme. There are multiple options to play around to make an application look unique. Are we done with the questions? How long will it take to master Apex? Excellent question. Now, it depends on what you want to actually develop, brother. If you want to actually develop a simple application, I think so, just maybe 2-3 days of Apex videos, and you will be able to create your simple application with, let's say there is an Excel file with 5 or 6 sheets or something like that. You can just create in 2-3 days. But if you want to create a proper full-fledged application with charts, which email sending, with what do you say, with multiple forms and integration with forms and this thing, it'll take maybe, like, if you are dedicated and if you're able to spend at least 4 hours per day, I think so within 2 weeks you can actually have a fairly good idea about Apex. Email and this thing. Okay, I'll type it out here. My email is Gmail, and my telephone number is 9710683. Yeah. Anything else? Inshallah, we will actually keep a Apex series, which will be a series of maybe 3 hours classes, and 3 hours classes as a full-fledged class. We will actually try to arrange that. Do we need to write triggers for next action upon form data collection? Actually, Apex gives you a declarative way of how you want to do it. But if you want to do it professionally, you can write triggers is the better way, I would actually say. But if you want to write it declaratively, you don't need to write triggers also. You can just say next, next, next and do it. Anything further? Any other questions?
Any more questions, brothers?
Questions is there? Okay, chats is coming in. Yes. Jazakallah khair. Bulk data updates. Yes, brother. There is something called as an interactive grid. Okay, which has an option where you can actually start updating just like an Excel. Think an Excel on the web, and you can actually do all the work over there. But with the added advantage of making each field as a drop down, validations, date, everything. For real-time application. No. If you are planning to if you are planning to Saleh, you're mute. Okay, if you are planning to actually create a real-time application for people to use, okay, multi-users to log in, but if your multiple users are only 10, 20, maybe 50 only, just go for the free version of Oracle Cloud Database. If you see, this one that I have is my own cloud. This is actually the cloud infrastructure which I have actually purchased, which I've just registered with $1. I have created an Apex application. This is a cloud hosted on Phoenix on Oracle Cloud for $1, and I'm creating my Apex applications in it. It's very good for prototyping, for small users and everything. Excellent. Is it possible to start with the free version, then upgrade to paid? Of course, this is what I'm doing. The cloud infrastructure provides you with, if you want more space, more CPU, more bandwidth, yes, then you have to go up to paid. If not, just stick with the free version itself. See, brother, if you're going for a full-fledged application where, thousands of people are going to connect, tens and thousands of people, then you need to think about it. I suggest financial dashboard 50 user, more than sufficient. By the way, this is the cloud-based free. By the way, there is another one which gives you for practicing, which is called as apex.oracle.com, which gives you a 50 MB space for you to actually practice and learn. Okay. So you can actually use this to practice and learn. As of now, they are upgrading to the latest version of 21.2. That's why it is going under maintenance. But tomorrow, if you actually go to apex.oracle.com and you can create your own account and you can actually do this thing. Can we choose the geographical location for cloud? Yes, of course. By the way, if you want 21C database functionalities, you need to actually choose only 3 locations. Currently, Oracle Cloud's free service is available only in 3 locations for the 21C database. All other geographical locations are in 19C database. One of them is, I think so, in California or something like that. When you are registering for the cloud, it will ask you which location you want. I choose Phoenix because it's more stable. Okay, you can even choose Dubai. I think there's one in Dubai. There's in US. There's one in Munich in Russia. For India, which is best? Actually, there's one in India also is there. I think so, not one, actually multiple is there. If you go to cloud.oracle.com, I think so they will actually have it. If you go to cloud.oracle.com, you will be able to actually see what are the locations that you can actually have the, where is it? So you see in the free cloud, you get 2 Oracle databases. You get Apex, you get SQL Developer, 2 CPU, 2 separate VMs you can actually have, block storage and load balancer and other things. Apart from this, a 30-day trial is also there with $300 for you to actually try out other options if you actually want to. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it is available. So you see here, this is the AWS free tier, which gives you only 12 months of free, which is Amazon Web Services. But Oracle's is always free. They give you only 1 database, but this is the Amazon database, which is of 20 GB. They give you 2 databases of 20 GB each. 4 instances of ARM compute, this one, and here is 30 GB of volume. Here is 200 GB of volume, 5 GB of block storage, and 10 GB of block storage. So just to give you a comparison of how Oracle is actually moving forward. Comparison AWS and Google Cloud. Okay, the answer is there. See, brother, if you guys want to actually go for the Oracle Cloud paid one, please research well before you actually go. I'm not using it. I'm using only the free version of it. Though I know Oracle Cloud paid one, whenever you go to a cloud, you have to be very careful because the billing counter is like a time ticker bomb. You make one small mistake, you will be charged heavily. So be careful. I can recommend to go with the free one. Use your application as much as possible. The day someone complains it is very slow, please try to do something. Okay, fine. Give me Athini Filus. Purchase the paid one for him separately. Finish. All cloud providers billing is automatic. Monthly billing based on the usage. The free one is free. There's no billing itself.
Yeah, brother, I think we have crossed the time limit for this webinar.
Okay.
I'm sure we will have more questions, but unfortunately, we'll have to wind up at this moment. Maybe, based on the interactions and the queries posted, and also the interest of the audience, maybe we can plan for some full-fledged courses as well, if something happens. I mean, some opportunity comes up.
You're welcome, brother. Inshallah, I will actually post who all are interested because we need dedicated people, not just people who just come in, attend 2 courses. I mean, see, if you're moving to a nerd track, we need dedicated people. So based on that, I will see who all are ready to actually come in. And then we can actually keep a full-fledged course of developing Apex from 0 to hero.
Excellent. Jazakallah khair. Anyways, Thank you so much, and Jazakallah khair for you, Brother Nasser, as well as for all those participants of this webinar. Thank you so much for taking out your time and giving us this wonderful seminar. Me personally, with no Oracle background, it got me really interested into this Apex development platform, and I'm really interested to see more of what Apex can do and how I can make use of this application in a real-time scenario. So I think that itself is a success of this webinar, to make us interested to use the application, and and also you clearly mentioned that we don't need to have a prior core technical knowledge or experience to start using this application. So that's a very big advantage of this application. So Jazakallah khair. We could see that you are an SME on this topic, subject matter expert, and we are really happy to have you on board to have this webinar conducted for NAF Kuwait. And Jazakallah khair. I think you have shared your contact details as well. And if any of the participants would like to know more or get more details, please, you can reach out to Brother Nasser for further clarifications and advices. And with this, we'll wind up today's webinar. Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.